Are we doing it?
Oh, and we're live.
We are live.
Unbelievable.
Good
That right
evening.
there, that right there is former ER star Noah Wiley.
And that, of course, is former ER store John Stamos. And you're watching Super Squad D, where the D, of course, stands for late night discussion.
Now, I think the D stands for, do you really think John Stamos was in ER?
He was, dude. Google it. Look it up. Look it up.
All right.
He was in it.
All right, I'm fact checking.
Okay,
You just go. You start. You start the show. I'm fact checking.
Okay. I'm letting everybody know in the groups online that we're going live, and we're doing this. It is the beginning of 2018. Of course, Joseph and I are not in the same room again. We haven't been in the same room doing a live show in quite some time. How long has it been?
I mean, at least over a month now, I believe, because even the Christmas special, due to illness, had to be. I'm sorry, the holiday special. We covered all holidays.
We covered all the holidays.
Due to illness, we had to be in separate rooms, and yeah, so it's been a little while. And then we had some technical issues even setting this one up, so we decided to go with the path of least resistance and just do it as a Google Live Hangout as opposed to a brand new fancy live stream. So whatever.
Well, we got a lot going on. I don't know if you can tell in this office right here, in this general direction.
By the way, you were right. John Stamos showed up in 2005.
That's right.
And then showed up again 2006 and ran until a little bit into 2009.
Trust me, I know my John Stamos history, my friend.
You do. By that point in time, almost everyone in America had stopped watching ER. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. True. So that's why it slipped my mind. So I apologize. You were correct.
It's okay.
I made a mistake.
Stop it. Stop it, you.
I won't stop it. I will beat myself up about this for the rest of time.
Well, I'm going to pull up the live chat so that I can see if anyone is doing stuff. Welcome. And we got M. Scotter in the chat.
Good. Who was not going to be able to make it for a little bit of time. And then all of a sudden could make it.
He did. What?
Just a whirlwind of emotions coming from Scott.
We got Will saying his weekly appointment, Diablo 3 and SSD. I don't know if it's just because it rhymes, but it feels so right.
I'm in. I didn't have anything else to add. I'm sorry. Was I supposed to pick up the rest of that sentence?
Attack on Luis says, thank you, Joseph, for Spider-Man.
For just... You're welcome for your Spider-Man. I hope you've used your Spider-Man.
Anybody else wants a Spider-Man? This guy can hook you up with the Spider-Man.
Any of you guys want a Spider-Man? I'll give you Spider-Man.
But I am sorry, guys, that we are doing... not our normal live show. We will be back in action once I finish moving. My move date is the 25th.
That's his excuse.
It's the 25th, so probably at the beginning of February we'll be back. Wow, that is a nuclear bomb.
Moving. Likely excuse.
Oh, boy.
Likely excuse. You're just afraid of me. You're afraid of being in the same room as me.
I am. We've been in the same room one too many times. We sure have.
Tyler, you didn't read me the rest of Attack on Louise chat that he owes me a Fantastic Four now. Trust me, sir, you do not.
I like to call it Fan-4-stick.
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 You know what? I'll accept a Fan-4-stick. If someone wants to send a Fan-4-stick my way, I'm not going to stop them, but...
Well, we got a great show for you guys tonight. We got a lot going on, a lot to talk about. We're going to hit a couple news topics first here at the top of the hour, and then we're going to dive into what is appropriately referred to as Block 1, thanks to our producer. And that's going to be a nice discussion on something recently announced by Nintendo. And then we're going to jump into Block 2, which is going to be all of the things about 2018 that we are excited about. So I want to know from you guys as we get to that segment, like what you guys are excited about in 2018. We're going to cover movies, games, comics, and shows.
Those are the four things. Those are the four. And of course, we have an outline. That's why it's Block 1 and Block 2. But Block 2 definitely going to be significantly longer discussion than Block 1.
Yeah, it is. So in news, if you guys haven't heard a few news stories, one, Lindsay Lohan is making a really strong push to be cast as Batgirl in Joss Whedon's solo Batgirl film.
I
I'm
cannot
not even
believe that
kidding
this
you.
is what you're choosing to lead the first show of 2018 with. Like this, we had a lot of options. We could have gone
We could
strong with like, did you guys see what Nintendo announced? What? No.
no,
Straight off the bat, Lindsay Lohan.
that's it.
Mhm.
She's going for Batgirl. I wish we had our normal setup because I'd love to throw up a picture because she tweeted a picture of Batgirl, of Barbara Gordon and herself side by side, and she's like, "I want this job." Of course, Lindsay Lohan is blaming the fact that she has not seemingly been considered for this role based on all of the unfair bad press she's gotten over the last few years. So, you know,
Yeah. It's to say that her career has been a roller coaster. Is it's
it's
hard
an
to
accurate statement.
Yeah, it's hard to understate how much of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like that being said, like I mean, I'm all about giving someone an opportunity. That clearly she's done a lot of work to try to clean up her life and everything.
I just can't picture Parent Trap as Batgirl. I just can't do
it. It's always interesting when you see one actress or actor, performer in some sort of way really push hard for something like that. Like I should be this because of the, like you see it in all kinds. It's not just in acting. I mean, you see washed up musicians that are like,
oh no,
I could be I'm better than Taylor Swift. And like, they haven't written anything in 30 years, it's that sort of thing. So.
Yeah. We got some good comments here. Fernando's not down with it because of some of her previous acting. I don't know. She was in Herbie.
She's the Man. Was that her? Was she in She's the Man?
I have no idea. I didn't even see Herbie.
Right.
David Codd says that, are we all off the Whedon train now? And that's a really good question. I would say yes, we're all off the Whedon train, which actually segues us into our second news story, which is that the Justice League DVD has been announced, and to the 12 fans, the dozen of fans who are very adamant about getting a Zack Snyder cut, I'm sorry, it's not happening. There is no Zack Snyder cut on the DVD.
That's interesting. This is once again something that I will never fully understand. I will never understand how it is that we go from one guy does something and it's almost like, widespread, just like, oh, this guy, he didn't do the movie right. This is bad. We need to get someone else in there. And then someone else does, like, finishes his movie for him. And all of a sudden there's these people that pop up and they're just like, it just wasn't Zack Snyder enough.
Know, right?
I don't think that we, as humanity, humans, I don't think we're able to be happy. I just think we've lost it. We've lost it at some point.
With you. Omar in the house. What's up, Omar?
I love that guy.
A bunch of nerds.
Yep.
And in other news, Dragon Ball Super is coming to an end in March. I'm very upset about this. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with Dragon Ball Super. There was some talks about it potentially being a hiatus, but it is officially ending at the end of March. Now, some people thought it was going to be a joke because they said the first episode of the series that's taking its place in the lineup is airing on April 1st. So a lot of fans were hoping that it was going to be an April Fool's joke, but no, it is serious and it is definitely ending. Now there's a movie slated for the end of 2018 that is going to be going out to theaters, much like Battle of the Gods and Resurrection of F did. And that movie is rumored to focus on the first Saiyans. I'm not sure if that's been confirmed or not, but like the very first Saiyans and how they got their power and their strength, etc. Now, this is all hopeful fanboy hearsay. This has nothing to do with a credible news source, but a lot of people are hoping that after that movie, they're going to start a new series, which I think makes sense because Dragon Ball Super takes place at the end of Dragon Ball Z. When it ends, the last episode jumps ahead 10 years. And Dragon Ball Super takes place right in between the last episode and the episode before the last and the last in that 10-year gap. And there's just only so much you can do with a set 10-year time period. So my hope is that they're going to come back and do another series. I don't know why they wouldn't, because they're just basically making money hand over fist.
Are they? I know nothing about this series. I didn't watch any of Super. So obviously I'm the problem.
If you had just watched a little bit more, it would have been fine. Yeah. No, it's been like the highest rated anime in Japan.
Okay.
In terms of viewership.
Surprisingly, that is, you talk about the big names in anime, that doesn't get a whole lot bigger than, the Dragon Ball series in general. So not surprising to see the success there. I hadn't been keeping up with it, but that's just on me.
That is just on you.
I know.
Good sir.
I know.
I think that wraps up our news segment. I don't think there's anything else that really was breaking that I wanted to talk about.
Well, I mean, we could talk about the Nintendo Labo. I don't know how you pronounce it.
You know what? Let's just dive in.
Because that was a very interesting thing. My brother texted me yesterday as he was apparently getting lunch with you, which was very
special.
I received a picture yesterday of Tyler getting lunch with my entire family and not me.
Well, we had a family meeting, and we felt like it was best that we had that without you.
Yeah, because I cannot stay on topic, as it's pretty clear. I just keep talking about Who's the Man. That's the name of the movie now. Who's the Man?
Who's the Man? Which was Amanda Bynes.
Starring Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, Who's the Man? Starring.
Yeah, it was Amanda Bynes.
Yep, it was. I know this because I had a pretty big Amanda Bynes crush back in the day.
Well, I think a lot of people did before she kind of also followed in Lindsay Lohan's footsteps.
Talk about another one. Tyler, who do you think was your biggest celebrity crush that you've ever had?
She's still my celebrity crush, actually.
And
my biggest celebrity crush, and I tell my wife this all the time. It's like when the song will come on, if I can't have you, I don't want nobody, baby.
It's Lola Bunny from Space Jam, isn't it?
Well, that's close. I usually say, if I can't have you, or 2004 Jessica Alba, then I don't want nobody, baby.
That makes sense.
I just got to be honest about it. But it's only 2004 Jessica Alba, specifically that year and that time period.
That was a great year to have a crush on Jessica Alba. I remember. Yeah.
Who was your crush? And let us know in the chat who your celebrity crush was.
Yeah, your biggest celebrity crush. My biggest celebrity crush, hands down, has been and probably forever will be Anna Kendrick.
Yeah.
I remember watching. I watched the movie Up in the Air years ago. It was kind of her like
with George Clooney.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
It's a great movie. It's one of my favorites. And she was nominated for like Best Supporting Actress or something like that. It was kind of one of her biggest breakthrough roles because it came out about the same time that she like had her little role in the Twilight movies. And then that was the one that thankfully people were like, oh, okay, we'll pay attention to her. Yeah. I just watched that movie and was like, oh, who is this? She's my age. Oh, I can have a crush on her. That's fine. And then I tried to stalk her a little bit when she was filming a movie here in the city that I live in a few years ago. But sadly, I never saw her anywhere. They were filming
never fruition.
No, they were like filming in my neighborhood. I saw the trailers and stuff at different houses.
But you never saw her, huh?
No, I like only saw John Krasinski walking around, and I was like,
about that guy. Come on.
I applied to be John Krasinski's body double. Before that,
could have done it.
Yeah, we're like the same height and stuff, but
yeah,
I would have had to have shaved. So
no, that's out.
What are some of the answers we got?
David Codd was wondering if it was the Dark Angel era of Jessica Alba. Yes, it was.
Of course, it was. Yes, yeah, it was. That was probably that had to be peak Jessica Alba, right?
Fernando says Amy Jo Johnson was his biggest crush, and I gotta be honest, I had a massive crush on Amy Jo Johnson as well. I joined the Power Ranger fan club when I was 8 because I thought it would like let me meet her in some way. I don't know why I thought that. It didn't ever come to fruition, but that's a fantastic one. And Gillian Anderson from the X-Files, Attack on Louis.
I get that.
Kevin wants to know, Joseph, before we talk about the Labo, have you ever seen Rocket Science?
No, I'm Googling it right now to find out what it is.
Okay.
Because if it's an Anna Kendrick movie that I somehow have not seen, then I have to jump on that.
Yeah, that makes some sense. His biggest crush is Emma Watson.
Understandably so.
Who is pretty fantastic. I can't deny she is pretty amazing.
Yeah, but Anna Kendrick was probably the only big time celebrity crush that I had that carried over into my adult years, you know, that I can think of. So,
Let's segue into the Nintendo Labo.
yeah,
And if we were doing a live show, this is like if we were together doing a normal live show, this is the time when we'd put the trailer up on the screen and it would give Joseph and I a little bit of a chance to drink a lot. So
I don't think that we would because we kind of steered away from that due to copyright issues.
well,
Considering every live stream was taken down by
cares?
YouTube.
I thought we could just have a moment of silence and pretend we were all watching the trailer together.
We can have a moment of silence for all the people that used to enjoy making videos for YouTube before YouTube killed the
Before
small
they
video
demonetized
making.
every small channel. Okay.
Yeah. Moment of
Sounds good.
silence. Moment of silence for them. There's nothing in that. I just need some water. Yeah, so I'm sitting around yesterday. My brother sends me a text message and goes, "You seen this Nintendo Labo or Labo? I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm going to say Labo thing." And I said, "New phone, who dis?" And then we all had a laugh. We all enjoyed it. It was a great time.
What a good joke.
Yeah. And then once he actually did tell me who it was, I said, "Oh, okay, good to hear from you. It's been a while." Estranged brother. So I looked it up. And I mean, my first impression is Nintendo's trying to make some like video game Lego sets themselves out of cardboard. Because I mean, you can't really say like video game Lego sets because like Lego's kind of already tried to do that.
Yeah.
But then it's the cardboard thing, so it's kind of like this Calvin and Hobbes style imagination video. I don't know. There's something about it that I'm like, this really seems to be trying to tap into childhood imagination a little bit, and that's interesting to me. What do you think of this, Tyler, as a Switch owner?
As someone who's an avid Nintendo fan, and the Nintendo Switch,
and also as someone who's a large child.
Oh, I'm definitely a man child. I mean, man is actually maybe even overstating it a little bit, but as a Nintendo Switch owner, the Switch reinvigorated my love for video games, like my true passion, not just like, oh, I'll play a couple games this year and enjoy it. Like my true passion for video games was reignited by the Switch last year. All that being said, I think the Labo looks really cool and really interesting, and I would love to try it out. It just doesn't seem like something that I would be interested in playing with for like a long extended period of time. It's kind of like the VR. I got a friend who got the VR headset for Sony. And it looks awesome, but I just don't see myself sitting down and being like, oh, I want to play 6 hours of PSVR right now.
Right.
And that's kind of how I feel about the Labo. Like it would be cool. I would use it a little bit, but ultimately it would be something that would sit just like on my shelf.
Yeah,
and not get much use.
Let's be honest. You and I are not the target audience for the Labo.
No, we're not.
We're just not. Like your child, you know, if she was a little bit older, would be the target audience. You know, if you had a kid that was around like that 8 years old mark,
yeah, that's the sweet spot.
Who's enjoying video games, but you're also like, you know, what if we got a little bit more active with it? What if we got a little bit more creative? Like that whole robot building set, that's something that if I were a child, I would absolutely want that. You know, I was obsessed with Lego. I loved building stuff, but I also loved video games. And like I had an active imagination, was always coming up with these weird stories about what my action figures are doing when I was, you know, playing with them years ago, all that sort of stuff. I don't do it now, so stop looking at me. Guys. Anyway, so that would have been something that I would have loved when I was, you know, the age of the target audience of what they're trying to reach for here. Yeah, I don't know. Parents are gonna be interested in it. You know, that's what it seems like to me. I don't know. It's obviously not something for the hardcore gamer, but it's really cool. And that's something I think that, I mean, I can appreciate being someone who will never buy one of them.
Right.
It's still cool. And it's cool to me how they're trying to not just settle on like the system, you know. They didn't just settle with the system when they made the Switch. They tried to make a different kind of system, and now they're trying to do something more with it, and that's cool to me, and I respect that, you know. What are the comments saying about this one, Tyler?
Well, M. Scotter says that $70 he believes is a little bit too high of a price point, and I kind of agree.
Have you seen the price of Lego sets these days, though?
Well, that's true.
Whew.
That's true.
Inflation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. David Codd said he was getting Lego Mindstorm vibes. Attack on Luis says Nintendo gave up and was just like, build your own system.
I know. I saw that. That was my favorite comment out of all of them so far. Was Attack on Luis assessment.
And then Fernando agreeing with you that the younger audience is definitely the target audience, and Will saying it's pretty much the same thing as the Wii, in as much as anytime they leave the core controller aspect of the system, it's just not something that sticks. Attack on Louis wants to know, what is your dream Lego set, though? I'll kick this one off. My dream Lego set, it was actually a fan set, and I wish I could throw it up on the screen right now, but it was a fan made.
Well, we could have thrown it up on the screen if you didn't have a terrible computer that apparently didn't want to work and hurt the live stream.
A fan made a really cool Rivendell,
nice
Lord of the Rings, like entire landscape, and it was amazing. I wish I could remember how many pieces. Will says his is a life-size Anna Kendrick Lego set.
I'd purchase that. And then my wife would leave me. So
yeah. So what would be your dream Lego set? Like if they could just make any Lego set of any property.
That's a solid question. And let's see. I will say this, go back to the Nintendo real quick. With it is that I really, that's the one thing that worries me about the whole thing. It's looking at the price tag, looking at all this, like it's cute, it's inventive, it's innovative, and yes, I did say both those similar terms on purpose. But is it a little too gimmicky, for long-term success? Kind of what was there's that David Codd who said that. I don't have the.
But we'll give David Codd the credit.
Okay, yeah, we'll say it was David Codd. Why not? Good job. The whole once they leave the main thing, it kind of doesn't stick. I worry that this is something that it's like you get it, like you build it with your child and it's fun and like they play with it for a little bit, and then it's like, okay, well, I really just need to get my freaking system out of this cardboard piano so I can go about my life now.
Right.
Is it a little too gimmicky? I worry, because I mean, look at like the Xbox Connect, was one of those things that like it was cool. And what did you say?
It's defunct now.
Defunct. It's cool. When it came out, it was fun to do like track and field events and everything.
Was it though? Was it fun?
I enjoyed it. I mean, but
good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it died. But anyway, so I wonder if this is going to be the next one of those things. My dream Lego set, I guess really, if we're since we're in a conversation about like reliving childhood and everything, when I was much younger, I was obsessed with all of the Lego medieval knights. And like all the stuff that they had there. The little pieces of armor you'd slip on and the helmets and then the dragons, the big castles. I didn't have too many of them. It just, I don't know if it was just like my parents were like, we can't afford all that, kid. You're asking for too much. Or if it's just like they didn't make as many by the time I was really into them. So you kind of had to find them. Like, I think that actually was, I do remember by the time I was like, oh, I love these things, they were kind of phasing out that chain. So my dream would be to just be able to get like all of those. That would be my dream. So get like all the old early 90s, late 80s, early 90s medieval knights Lego sets. Just have all of them.
Interestingly enough, my friend.
That's good. That's well said.
I picked up probably around 20 Lego sets over the course of about 2 or 3 years. And my wife and I would build them because like some people like to do puzzles and we were like, oh, let's do Legos. They're really fun. So we'd set them out on the tables before we had kids, and we'd set it out on the table. And like every night we'd sit down and build a little bit more. And we'd get like the really expert level sets, like we got this really cool movie theater and it was like 2,000 pieces and stuff like that. But what happened was I'd like go to Target, I'd find these deals on Legos and they go on sale. I'd be like, oh, it's the Blackbird from X-Men, or oh,
Yeah.
it's the Ghostbuster van.
Yeah.
But now I just have a lot of Lego sets that take up a ton of space, and I don't really get any enjoyment out of them. Like I built them and had fun, but now they just take a bunch of space, and I don't know what to do with them. So
you can give them to your friend over here who loves.
I mean, I could. I have actually thought about taking them apart and storing them each in like their own box.
Yeah.
But just something about that just feels painful.
It feels like work, so you don't want to do it. I get it. I got two things to add. Number one, for some reason earlier, you said before we had kids, and I didn't make a noise, but Google Hangout switched to focus on my face as if I was to blame for this. I don't know what Google's trying to insinuate.
I think Google knows the role you played.
Before we had kids, it just popped to me, and I'm just going.
And you continue to play.
Yeah, this past Christmas, I got more Lego for Christmas than I've gotten since my like 6th birthday. My wife decided to get 2 small Star Wars Lego sets for what you were saying, just so we could build them together.
Yeah.
But they were small and on clearance, so we built them in like 5 minutes. So I think we're gonna have to remedy that. But some coworkers of mine found, and it's sitting right here, and I'm so glad that I didn't take it back to work or something. They found for like 25 cents at a salvage store this sweet 2002, 2003 NBA All-Star Dirk Nowitzki, Vince Carter, and Ray Allen.
That's pretty amazing.
Okay, guys.
And yeah. Ray Allen does have a ball.
Ray Allen does look like a ball. That's what you said, right?
Yep, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Ray Allen wearing that sweet Seattle Supersonics green, and may they rest in peace.
David Codd said that he saw one that was a fan-made set that they were trying to get into a real set but didn't have the support, and it was Jaws eating the boat, which would be really cool looking. That would have been a nice set. Will says Alien franchise Legos would be his favorite. Like if they could make, I'm surprised they actually haven't done Alien Legos.
Well, who owns the rights to the Alien movies? That's
I don't know,
the question.
But Lego owns the rights to everything for like the last 30 years. They're just like, hey, Marvel, we'll buy your rights for this. Hey, DC, we'll buy your rights. Hey, Turtles, we'll buy your rights. And like,
hey, by the way, they just sneak it in there. It's like, hey, we'll get the rights to build the sets. Also, by the way, we get like movie rights, just so you know.
Just FYI, we're making a movie and all of your characters are in it.
But yeah, I mean, at the time, they didn't let them know they were making a movie.
No,
they were just like, oh, you were just going to do that. So anyway, it's fun stuff. This was a good Christmas.
Attack on Louis says that my wife would come in and it would just be like completely built. Yeah, that did happen once, and then I felt really bad about it, actually.
Without a doubt. Now, I distinctly remember, though, Tyler and I have a friend that we grew up with who he had.
Is it Oliver?
No, I was talking about Corey.
Oh, man.
Who had sweet Lego collection.
Yeah.
The thing about Corey's Lego collection also was that like they had an entire it was like a small dining room on the house that like they didn't use as a dining room, so he just kind of put up a table and then he built a city. And he had like this whole thing laid out. And it's not really surprising because he was kind of like a manager personality anyway.
Oh, for sure. Like he's succeeding in business somewhere as a manager, no doubt.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes. So it's really funny, but it was fun to go over to his house. We, however, would go over to his house with our computers that we had gotten as like graduation gifts. And we'd go over there and have weekend long WoW LAN parties.
Oh, boy. The good old days. The one thing that I'll say about Legos that has been really fun for Jenny and I to continue to do, even though we stopped buying like just random sets. Every year Lego releases a new Christmas set. And so instead of doing like a Christmas village that, like there's already the nice ceramic stuff, we build the new Christmas set every year. And we've built up like a little Lego Christmas village. It's fun to do with family or friends. Build it up a little bit.
That is really cool.
Fox owns Alien.
Fox does. Okay. Well, so now that Disney owns Fox, and Lego owns Disney. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, I'm so confused.
Yeah. Scott's trying to offer me some Lego. Give me time to think about that, Scott. Because I did not too long ago go grab a bunch of my Lego from my childhood home, my parents' house, that was still in storage. All right, let's transition now. We've looked back
Yep.
way more than we should have, if we're being honest. We're all regressing as human beings. We're dealing with some unresolved issues, some jealousy of Corey and his Lego city that I always wanted to play with, but they wouldn't let me because he was a city planner and he wouldn't. That's a childhood memory that keeps coming back. Let's look ahead. This is the first live stream that we're having in 2018.
Yeah,
So
we got stuff coming up in 18.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year. It's going to be a real big year. The most important thing happening, of course, is that it's the 25th anniversary of Jurassic Park. M. Scotter knows what I'm talking about. I'm planning on throwing a Jurassic Park party later this year.
Did you see that they announced a Jurassic Park pop line?
Yes, I did see that.
I felt like you'd be all over that.
I own one pop, and it was a Christmas gift.
Well, you're probably going to own two.
I haven't decided.
It's going to be a birthday gift. And it's going to be from me.
Yay! I'll take it. I am going to go back over to my parents' house and get all my Jurassic Park toys for sure. But I'm trying to plan a Jurassic Park birthday party for myself. Tyler, just so you know, that's the party. You and M. Scotter are invited.
Okay.
Everyone in the chat is invited. You're all invited.
If you find yourself in central Mississippi.
If you happen to be wandering down here for some reason, you're invited to my birthday party. But looking ahead at 2018, we want to cover some of the topics that are important to us, which means they're not important to, anyone else on the planet, and some of the things that we're most excited about looking ahead. Movies, comic books, video games, TV. We don't talk about music on the channel, apparently, because I'm the only person here. It's great. We talk about comic books. I don't even read comic books. Tyler just forces me.
I do. I make him. I like stand over and I'm like, read. And he's like, but I don't want to. And I'm like, read. He's like, can I just look at the pictures? And I'm like, no, you will read the words that go with the pictures.
I'm like, hey, Tyler, I heard this great new album today. And he's like, was it a soundtrack? If it wasn't a soundtrack, I'm not interested.
I only like original soundtracks.
Anyway, so looking ahead here on SSD After Dark. Oh, yeah.
After Dark.
Yeah, we want to thank you for tuning in to Super Squad After Dark, the first live stream of 2018.
2018.
We got Joseph. We got all the slow jams that you could possibly want. Deep down in your nerdy little heart. It's Super Squad After Dark.
Super
Tyler
After Heart.
Blunt, please tell me, what comics are you most looking forward to in 2018?
Okay. I am going to spoil something I saw online for the next 120 seconds. One thing is about Superman, one thing is about X-Men, and one thing is about Spider-Man. I'm about to spoil it, so if you don't want to hear this, put your earmuffs on because I'm about to spoil it, okay? I'm gonna give a countdown. 3, 2. I really am excited that Superman is going to be wearing the red tights again. Like, I don't want him to do it permanently, like the red underwear for Action Comics 1000, which is a huge milestone in the comics world and Superman. I'm not as excited that Brian Bendis is going to be writing the character starting in issue 1000, but I am very excited about seeing him back in the red undies, even though I assume it's going to be like flashback to older stories and they're not going to continue on with him in the undies. I'm still excited about that. I'm excited about the fact that Kitty Pryde and Colossus are getting married. They've been together for a long time, off and on relationship. I just recently read the Chris Claremont run of Uncanny X-Men with the first 3 omnibus, and I loved the Kitty Pryde stuff in there, and I like the Colossus stuff, and I like their relationship. I'm really excited about that. And then finally, Norman Osborn has just been announced to get the Carnage symbiote. And I think that is going to be a really interesting and horrifying story for Peter Parker Spider-Man.
I actually saw those headlines today.
Okay.
Oddly enough. I just happened to decide I was going to go look at CBR.com, I guess. And
Nice.
those are pretty much all the headlines. So yeah, those are interesting things that are looking ahead, and I'm very intrigued to see what happens there. Maybe I'll actually read some of that this year. I want everyone to comment with something that I should read
Yeah, that's a
this
good
year.
idea.
What they're excited about that they want me to read, and we're gonna talk about that. Hey, speaking of which, we do actually want to do a book club pretty soon here, Tyler. You want to plug that? I believe we're looking at somewhere around maybe the last week in January / first week of February, if time allows. Those dates blend together. That's why I mentioned that.
So we are going to be diving into the brand new day era of Spider-Man, and we're going to read probably the first 2 to 3 story arcs, whatever's contained in the first trade paperback. We're going to read that, maybe the first 2 trade paperbacks.
Sure.
Talk about it. It's on Marvel Unlimited. You can find it on Comixology. You can find it on shadier places on the internet if you're so inclined, or you can buy the trade paperbacks. And I just recently read this run, and I think it's great. I would love to talk about it with some people, and I want to know what you guys think about the run, because when it came out, everybody hated it. It just was like universally lauded as bad, and I think now, given some breathing room, it's pretty good.
All right. That's good to know that you actually have given it time to digest and to settle down some, and that it's more acceptable. It could be difficult to do that with characters that we love deeply. So that's good to hear. Looking at some of the comments.
Yeah, you're getting some good comments on what to read.
Good. I'm putting on my reading glasses. So some of the things that we have had coming up here. Fernando did point out the Jurassic Park Pops as well, like you did, Tyler. And Attack on the Wee's been mentioning that he's been listening to Childish Gambino after watching Atlanta.
Ooh.
Great choice on both fronts. Love Childish Gambino, actually, before he put out one of his actual albums, I used to listen to a lot of his mixtapes. And several of them were him just rapping on top of other songs. Like they weren't beats, they were just songs that he'd take and he'd just lay a verse down. And so because of that, Childish Gambino got me into the band Sleigh Bells, because he did a song on top of their song Crown on the Ground. And I was like, oh, this is a jamming little song. And I looked him up and I was hooked on Sleigh Bells after that. So
I just wish you knew any lines of any songs by Childish Gambino. I think that's the saddest thing, is that you don't even know a single line from their music.
I definitely could not recite any of his stuff. Or possibly I could do the entire Because of the Internet album off the top of my head. Yikes. You ever have that, though, happen where that was a terrible sentence. You ever have that happen, though, where you listen to a song for the first time in like 15 years and just for some reason you can remember every lyric?
No doubt.
But like I had like one day off of work this week and completely forgot what my job was by the time I showed up again. Just terrible. Just terrible.
No good. So you got some good suggestions though from.
I'm sorry. I'll roll back through those comments like I said I was gonna do. Whoops.
Whoops.
Yeah. So Mr. Miracle, Fernando says Mr. Miracle for sure.
I have heard that is very good from Fernando.
All right, I'm interested in that. Scott, big time DC fan, M. Scotter says that he loves what they've been doing in Aquaman, so that's good.
Yeah.
Spectacular Spider-Man. Tyler and I have both been reading it. And it's hilarious. Oh,
it is really good.
All right. Tackle and We says the only people who liked it was Slot. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Tyler?
Brand New Day.
Brand New Day. Okay.
Spider-Man.
Thank you.
I'm assuming. And David Codd said he likes
sorry.
the Kitty and Star-Lord, that they were together. And I kind of dug that too. I didn't read a lot of it, but I kind of dug it from what I read.
All right. Fair enough. I'm going to take those suggestions to heart. I'm actually going to take an actual screenshot of them. So
I thought you were going to say write them down, and I was like, wow, you're so old. You're going to write something with a pen?
I mean, I did put on my reading
wrong with you, Seth?
Yeah, you want me to? Let me pull up my NBA All-Stars and write on those. Yeah, those are good. Thank you guys for those suggestions. I will take them to heart. Let's talk about I don't know. Let's let the live chat decide. Movies, video games, or TV? What are we going to talk about next? And in the meantime, I'm going to rehash to everyone how great Persona 5 is. I believe M. Scotter's playing it right now. I've plugged like 120 hours into it. My wife has left me. And, you know, it's just been, it's been an incredible, it's just been a really solid, you know, JRPG in all gameplay aspects. But I got done with it, and the story was one of those where by the time I finished it, I was kind of like, I'm just ready to get done and maybe start up, you know, maybe toy around with a new game plus, just see what happens. Then the story ended, and like I got really emotional. I was like, oh my gosh. Because you don't realize how connected you've gotten to the characters. It's weird.
The most impressive part of your Persona 5 play is that you've been playing it in Russian, the Russian version of the game, which is just so impressive to me. A Japanese RPG, but you're playing the Russian version in America. I mean, that's very impressive.
I'm actually playing the Dutch version. It's not Russian.
I'm sorry, the Dutch version.
Yeah, so a friend of mine bought it for me as a wedding gift, because he actually is like, he loves the Persona series. He's played like all of them. He actually has like a Persona themed tattoo that he got last year, which I think is pretty cool. And he bought it for me as a gift because he knew I would appreciate it. And
that's a good gift and a good friend.
Great gift. And
does
clearly,
he need more friends?
Yes, he's always interested in friends. It's all Brad, chill bro, chill Brad, whatever. Chad bro, chill Brad, bro, chill.
Chad, bro, chill.
Yeah, pops up in the chat sometimes. But anyway, so yeah, it came to me, it arrived. I was really excited. I opened it up, and it was the Dutch version of the game.
That's pretty amazing.
The cover's in Dutch. I'll post a picture of it later on so everyone can see.
Will wants to know, who is your best girl?
Best girl, no question. Who's asking this?
Will.
Yeah. Best girl, no question for me was Futaba. Best girl, no question.
Futaba, what a terrible answer.
Had me rolling.
Oh, I like Sakura. Sakura was my favorite.
You don't understand the importance of that statement because Futaba's last name is Sakura.
Well,
so we had the same best girl there.
I should have known there was a Sakura. That was like the most stereotypical thing I could say, but it actually just totally worked out.
Yep. Makoto was definitely up there in the running. So that was okay. That was Brad Chad Bro Chill's. That was his favorite. So
let's jump into movies.
Movies?
Yeah, let's just dive right into it, guys.
Because no one actually I don't think
anyone cares where we go next.
No. Scott, just so you know, everyone pronounces that On's name as On. So get used to that. The farther you get, everyone says it. So sorry. Movies in 2018.
Well, there's one small indie film that I'm very excited about. And
Solo?
I know you like indie films.
Yeah, it's Solo, right?
Solo's a huge film. No, this is an indie film by two brothers, and it's been in the works for a while. It's been in development for a long time, and it's just now finally coming out. It's called Avengers: Infinity War. And these two brothers have really put together what I think is going to be a fantastic movie. It's probably my most anticipated movie of my life, potentially, but most certainly of 2018.
All right. That's lovely. I think a lot of people are excited about that. I'm very interested in it as well. I've been pretty open about my, not like my disgust with Marvel movies, but my Marvel fatigue.
I know.
That being said, I do think that this is their opportunity to make the best movie that they've ever made.
Yeah, agree.
Like it kind of has to be. That's going to be very interesting for me to watch that and see exactly how it turns out, because it kind of has to be their best, right? Like we all want it to be. We all expect
it needs to be. In my heart, it will be.
You'll be in my heart. Sorry, someone. I got two ears and a heart, so I love Phil Collins. I'm intrigued with. There's a few that I was trying to figure out here. I'm intrigued with what they're going to do with Ready Player One. I want to read the book before it comes out. Thankfully, I've got until the end of March. so I'm going to try to jump on that. Very interested with that. Obviously, looking forward to the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah. I still haven't seen Jurassic World.
It's entertaining.
It's on my list.
I
Just kind of
enjoyed
low
it.
down.
I enjoyed it. Ant-Man and the Wasp is supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
That'll be great. There's Teen Titans Go to the Movies. You excited about that?
Oh boy, I can't wait. Man, the fart joke in the trailer, nailed it.
So good.
If anything, I am at least of course I was disappointed like everybody else that they went from like the Teen Titans animated series to Teen Titans Go, which was obviously not at all like Teen Titans was. I mean, it was dumb kid humor. But I'm at least excited to see any comic book property for young kids make it to the big screen, because that's actually pretty hard to do. To
Exactly.
take a series and make it to the big screen, I mean, it's like SpongeBob level right there. So I'm kind of excited. I'm excited of the idea. I'm definitely not seeing it.
Right. And that along with that, we got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is a very intriguing December release.
I'm so excited about. I mean, the trailer was amazing. The vibe, the animation. That's probably my second most anticipated movie of the year behind Avengers, honestly.
I understand that. I totally get that. There's 3 movies that are really looking interesting to me that are late year releases. I'll go ahead and say 4 actually. They're making another like a CGI, but another animated Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So they're making an updated version of that, which is interesting. Along with that, Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly have a Sherlock Holmes movie coming out. And I have no idea what to expect out of that. Tyler, I think you might be muted. I'm not sure how that
turns out that I am muted, but I'm not anymore. Yeah, that movie is going to be entertaining.
It's gonna be something else. I recently rewatched Talladega Nights while flying around to visit people over Christmas.
That's a nice one.
Forgot how great it was. Creed 2 comes out in November.
Really? They made a sequel to Creed.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw Creed.
I didn't, with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the idea that it was a sequel and tied to the Rocky movies.
Yes.
But I didn't know how well it did.
I don't remember how well it did, but I do know that it was generally well received. And I watched it, and I have to say it was a good one. And a lot of that, of course, comes down to the fact that Michael B. Jordan is just one of the most marketable actors.
Yeah, he's awesome
right now. But one thing that caught my eye that I'm very interested in is a movie coming out on Christmas Day called Bohemian Rhapsody.
Really?
And it is about the early days of Queen.
Really? I'm very intrigued.
Yeah. Queen's developing years up until their historic 1985 Live Aid set. And Freddie Mercury will be played by Sacha Baron Cohen.
Really?
Apparently. According to what this is saying.
Is it a comedy?
I mean, I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm looking at it here. It's a Bryan Singer movie.
Interesting. I'm surprised they're still letting him make movies.
But it says that but then actually I jump into the cast and it doesn't have him listed. It has Rami Malek listed instead of Sacha Baron Cohen. So someone can clear me up on that. I don't know much about this before looking up this list. As far as movies that are coming out earlier in 2018 that I'm really actually really intrigued by, obviously you mentioned some of the bigger blockbusters we mentioned Ready Player One, you mentioned Avengers. Pacific Rim Uprising is coming out, which will be interesting. And then I saw recently a commercial or trailer for a movie called Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot, which looks like a dark comedy movie with Joaquin Phoenix in it and Shaggy Jonah Hill.
Interesting.
And I'm intrigued with that.
So some comments we're getting here is that Will is agreeing and correcting you, but at this point agreeing. Rami Malek is indeed the actor. M. Scotter talks about a movie called Game Night, which I believe is directed by the guys who wrote Spider-Man Homecoming, who just got slated to direct Flashpoint. They actually sought out Ben Affleck to direct Flashpoint after their 2 directors have dropped out, and Ben Affleck was like, "Nah, I'm out." And so they got those guys. So I'm interested in that movie. It looks funny. It's a comedy, but if for no other reason, because I want to see how those two directors do.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see.
Here's a movie. Oh, David Codd said the new Tomb Raider looks dope, and I actually really liked the trailer. I genuinely enjoyed it. Like, it looks kind of like a generic action flick, but I'm totally into it, and I'm 100% going to go see it. Like, I really am that into it. Here's what I want to know. What do you guys think about the Venom movie?
Yeah, that's going to be a very big topic of discussion for a while.
Tom Hardy, known for his early to late 90s mixtape rap career that he could not get off the ground.
Known as being the most entertaining character in Peaky Blinders, hands down.
Definitely. I mean, these are what he's mostly known for, his failed rap career in Peaky Blinders. But I'm really excited about the movie because of him. You know, it was so interesting because at the time they announced it, you remember they had like that red carpet event where they had Kevin Feige and then the girl from Sony, and they were like, "Is Spider-Man going to be in the Venom movie?" And she was like, "Yeah, he's totally going to be in there." And then Kevin was like, "No." And she was like, "I mean, he might be." And Kevin was like, "No, he's not.
Yeah,
like he definitely won't be." Well, it just came out this week that he is in there, or people are saying that he's been on set, and a couple people from set have leaked out the information that he is in it. So we don't know officially, but it seems pretty credible at this point
that way that we're going to have some Tom Holland action,
which is. I mean, one, you shouldn't do Venom without Spider-Man, but two, it's rated R.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tom Holland isn't old enough to get into R-rated movies.
He's not. So. And so how is he going to be in the movie? I don't understand. No, the big question is it obviously tied into the MCU, and how much influence does Kevin Feige have over it? Interesting stuff. I don't know. I'm excited about it. Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'll be interested to see, as Will was pointing out. I do remember hearing some of the rumors about the Freddie Mercury movie. Now, I didn't realize this is what they were talking about some of the issues that had happened. So, be curious to see whether any of that happens. Will points out that Wes Anderson's having a new film coming out this year.
Oh, really?
Are you a Wes Anderson fan?
Well, there was a time in my life when I was like a huge Wes Anderson film, and I thought everything he did was fantastic.
We've all been through that.
In later years, I enjoy his movies. I don't just like absolutely love them, but I always watch them. I always check them out.
Super Troopers 2 comes out this year. I don't know why. I only saw Super Troopers once, and it could be because it was recommended to me by someone who is now an ex-girlfriend. That maybe that's why I didn't care for it.
What was her name?
I don't know.
Like, what was her full name and her Facebook page? So,
you said name. I heard what was her aim, like her motivation for making me watch the movie. I was like, I don't know. She thought it was funny. What is kind of a question?
What was her name? Like, I want to know her name.
I understand that now.
And I want to go to her Facebook page and I want to comment and say, why? Why?
Her name was Jenny, and that's all the information I'll disclose.
Oh my. Oh my.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Super Troopers 2. Is that coming out in theaters or Crackle?
Is Crackle not a theater?
Crackle's a streaming service that is notably lacking in anything good except for Joe Dirt 2, which I've never seen.
Crackle are the little tiny Rice crispy chocolates that you get.
You're thinking of Snap or possibly Pop.
No, Crackle. Does Crackle have the TV or the show version of Snatch? I think that's Crackle.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hating on Crackle big time, but I've never actually watched anything on there.
Rupert Grint. Yeah.
There's a new TV series which we'll get in. Well, no, that's a TV thing. Are we going to segue into TV?
Oh yeah, please. We are probably need to start wrapping things up at this point. We're about
we haven't even made it to video games.
The hour mark. So let's jump into TV and video games real quick without doing too much dialoguing.
Nick Frost and Simon Pegg are developing a new TV show
It's called Snatch. It's on Crackle and it stars Rupert Grint.
Super good. Ron Weasley himself. TV, I just don't know, man. I just kind of have fallen off watching most TV shows. I don't know what my problem is. Like, I loved Agents of Shield season 4, but I haven't even watched any of season 5. I haven't watched Arrow or Flash or Black Lightning just came out. Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, I've just totally fallen off the wagon on most every TV show. I haven't seen The Good Place. I haven't kept up with most of the comedies that I was watching.
Does anyone who's in the live chat right now watch Great News? That's what I'm curious about, because that's been my recent show to enjoy, and I'm a fan. Now, granted, it's from Tracy Wigfield, who is a former like 30 Rock writer and a kind of a Tina Fey apprentice. So naturally, that's going to fall into the vein of what I enjoy. But been enjoying that one. I don't know if anyone watches that. Sorry. Side note. Tyler, finish your thought.
No, that's pretty much it. I'm just open to suggestions. Like, what are you guys excited about in 2018 TV wise, and what should I be watching that would get me excited to watch something? Attack on Louie wants to know if we're watching ER.
I was hoping you saw that comment because if I hadn't already given that man a Spider-Man, I'd give him a second Spider-Man. I already gave him a Spider-Man 2, so I was going to say I'd give him a Spider-Man, whatever. Just for being
Westworld season 2. You know, I haven't seen season 1 of Westworld.
I haven't gotten around to it either. I need to borrow someone's HBO Go.
Yeah, I've thought about checking it out, but yeah, the HBO is kind of prohibitive for me.
Anyone got an HBO password they want to slide my way? You just, I'll see you in the DMs, y'all.
M. Scotter said Black Lightning was good, and Will said that The End of the World on Netflix is really
good. The End of the Effing World. I was watching a trailer for that one. Wasn't sure if it was going to be my style, so I'm undecided on it.
I'll have to check that out. Legion season 2. There we go.
The main thing about TV,
I'm excited about.
Exactly. The main thing for me about TV this year is going to happen in March and in April when Atlanta season 2 and Legion season 2 drop.
Oh yeah, I'm totally hyped for both of those.
FX killed it last year. Those were the two best shows on TV, I think. Not granted, I didn't watch Westworld, but I think those are the two best shows on TV. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Those two, Tyler.
Okay, well, I forgot all about those two shows somehow, but I'm very excited about both of those as well.
This doesn't surprise me. I honestly think sometimes you forget my name.
I usually just call you buddy, or friend, or chief.
Paolo. Hey, Paolo.
Paolo. Mm-hmm. Hey, Joe Beth.
Joe Beth. I know someone named Joe Beth. That's good.
Hey, bro. Sif.
This is still good. It's still good. So video games.
Let's
round this out with video games. This is of course there's I don't know. For me, it's kind of like if you don't answer either Spider-Man or Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
It's like, are you even looking forward to playing games this year?
Those are the two played Red Dead 1.
You still got like a PlayStation 3 on hand?
Yeah, it's hooked up right now. It's one of the last things in my house that has not been packed.
I think I still got a copy of Red Dead. I'm just going to give to you so you can play Red
Dead.
Yeah. GTA in the Wild West, man.
Okay.
What more do you need? I'll say this. Outside of those, there's something deep down inside of me that is unashamedly excited for Dynasty Warriors 9. We haven't had a new Dynasty Warriors game since 8 came out in 2013. We've had some of the spinoffs, Empires, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I played Dynasty Warriors 3. I played 2 a lot, but like 3 in particular was my jam. Me and my brother Adam used to play that like all the time. For years, I've had a big time Dynasty Warriors obsession that I'm not even ashamed of. And 9 coming out and being like open world, I'm all about that life. I'm all about that life.
Yeah, I just played through Dynasty Warriors, the version on the Switch that was, I'm totally blanking on it now. Not Hyrule Warriors, but Fire Emblem Warriors. There we go. Totally was blanking on the name. I was picturing the characters. I played through Fire Emblem Warriors. It was okay. I'm more of the Dynasty Warriors spinoff games because I like the gameplay, but I've just never really been into like the main Dynasty Warriors games. So I'm always a spinoff guy, but they're re-releasing Hyrule Warriors, which was out on the Wii U, and I put like 80 or 90 hours into that, and I'm just super tempted to pick it back up on the the Switch and replay through it all.
Let me ask you this question. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it.
Then why are you even tempted? Just get it again.
Yeah, I probably will. That
Oh,
will
geez.
probably happen. Beto just got here. What's up, Beto?
Oh, Shape of Water. How was it? Give
I
us
also would like to know.
on a scale of 1 to like 17. How
Yeah,
good was Shape of Water?
I'd like to know that too. Yeah, I can't believe the Switch has still almost a year in not put their virtual console up. Like it's so perfect for Super Nintendo and NES games. Like I would rebuy all the Super Nintendo games I have on the Switch just to play it conveniently. Every one of them.
Beto gave Shape of Water a 20 on a scale of
Wow.
1 to 17.
That is a really good rating. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Hey
Another
guys.
game.
Yeah, I was just gonna say what are you looking forward to? But Tyler, you got something else to
Oh, I
say.
got more games, dude. I'm hype. In like a week, Dragon Ball Fighter Z comes out. And I'm super excited about that. It looks like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but with Dragon Ball Z characters and being just a little Dragon Ball fanboy. It looks amazing, and I'm going to put tons of hours into it.
I
I'm
bet you
excited about
will.
that one.
I bet you will.
Kirby.
We've got what's that?
Kirby. There's a new Kirby game coming out in 2 months. You ever play the new Super Mario Bros. For the Wii or the Wii
Yeah.
U?
Oh yeah.
Like where it was multiplayer?
Of course I did. What do you think? I am a peasant?
Well, I mean, sometimes I do think that. No, they're coming out with that, but it's Kirby, like the Kirby version of that game. That looks really fun and entertaining. So I'm going to pick that up. And then, of course, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 high up there on the list for me. A few others that I'm trying to remember how many of these are absolutely decided or are still kind of works in progress. One of them being Shenmue 3.
Ooh.
Which was like Kickstarter funded to bring Shenmue back, which I think is amazing.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, one that's going to be interesting to see what happens to it is Metal Gear Survive, which I don't think is going to be a successful game, partly because Hideo Kojima has gotten it's not a part of it at all for being a Metal Gear game.
Yeah,
and that might not work out well, or it might work out just fine. It's also in some sort of alternate dimension. I don't know. There's a lot going on with it that's just looking iffy. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on for that.
Yeah.
But I do think that Shenmue is going to be an interesting one. And there was one more that I had open on this window, and it seems that I have closed it and I have forgotten. So
Will said he's getting an arcade stick, a fight stick for Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Nice.
What are you going to get? I have an arcade stick for my PS3, and I played Marvel vs. Capcom 3 just a stupid amount. And so I got an arcade stick. But when the PS4 came out, there was not really I didn't really get into Street Fighter 5. And I wanted to get an arcade stick, but I just don't know what to get. And they're really expensive. And I don't know. What do you get? What are you going to get? I would love to know because I kind of want to get one too.
Yeah. We also have, I mentioned Metal Gear. That's what I was going to talk about. Hideo Kojima's first game after Metal Gear, Death Stranding, is rumored to be coming out in 2018. And it's got like Mads Mikkelsen in it, which is very interesting to me. Like he's acting in the video game, and he's a fascinating actor to me. Far Cry 5 and God of War, two bigger name franchises that are dropping new games pretty soon here, and I think that's going to be very interesting. But the one that also stands out to me that I want to close on is I'm very intrigued by We Happy Few.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. What's the deal with that game?
We Happy Few has a little bit of like a BioShock type feel to it, kind of cartoony looking characters, and this like surreal landscape. And it's all about like a drug that cuts out all negative emotions. What little bit that we've been able to see through like trailers and stuff is that it's all about like a drug that cuts out negative emotions. And it's about like a rebellion against that and everything. So it's very, very weird. Looks pretty terrifying. Very 1985-esque. dystopian future type thing. I'm very intrigued to see what exactly it's actually all about. And I think it's supposed to be due out this summer.
Okay. It's going to be hard to top last year for video games, which was the best video game year literally since 2007. So it's going to be a hard one to top, but I'm excited about this year. I genuinely am.
I'm looking ahead. I'm more excited about this year than I was looking ahead at this time last year.
I agree totally. I thought last year just totally surprised, took me by like the Switch and everything about it, like Mario Odyssey.
Yep.
All of that took me by surprise.
We didn't know. Will's predicting that Death Stranding is going to be pushed to 19 or 20. That's what it's. I'm kind of thinking that as well, considering there's just really nothing about it that we know right now. And so very, very curious about what's going to happen there. But I loved, those Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 in particular. Or Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2 in particular. I mean, just phenomenal games. So I'm interested to see if Hideo can recapture some of that magic by having old Hannibal himself, as Beto points out. So this is a very interesting game. Very
well, good. Well, I'm
year for games.
I'm very tired, so I am probably going to go pack for about another 20 minutes, then go to bed.
Nice. I am going to probably hop on Persona 5 again.
I mean, it feels right.
I'm in New Game Plus, man.
It just feels
and right. I've got a problem. Ooh. Well, you know what that means. It means it's time for SSD After Dark, After Hours to slow down and come to a close. We've had a wonderful time this evening with you. We hope that you've enjoyed your experience as well. You've been a delightful live audience. You've been a beautiful live audience. You've been a highly, highly attractive live audience. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Bottom of his heart.
We didn't have anything to give away tonight, partly because we were distracted by technical difficulties that caused us to forget our entire plans for the evening.
Forget.
Oh, yeah. But we will come back from this better and stronger. We got an exciting year. 2018. We got Tyler's top 5 Spider-Man costume video coming out someday. We got big plans in the works. It was about this time last year that we were actually planning this channel. We're sitting a year out from that, and now we're looking at like what we can do next. And that's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool to be sitting here a year later and still be doing this. Maybe not on as grand a scale at times, but still doing it and still enjoying it and still loving interacting with all you viewers.
Quite cool.
Tyler, I'll let you close out the episode with whatever you want to say now. Good God. You just... It's unbelievable. Okay. Good night, everyone.